Welcome back to another video. I thought I'd have a look at the Mi selfie stick and tripod. This is a product a family member picked up, so I just thought I'd show it to you in a quick video. The items that you get included, very simple with this, just a stick. You also get a user guide and there's your warranty card. Just put the guide on screen for you just to give you a few ideas of the operation, but I will show it to you. In the accessory box we do have the Bluetooth remote. This is a small plastic device which has a rechargeable port at the top, micro USB, and it does actually last quite a long time. You don't really need to charge this very often. When it is charging, it starts off red, and then after it's finished charging, it turns to blue. So that does avoid having to put batteries in and things like that. Quite a neat little design, and it just slips into the silicone cover that's around the stick, and it is fitting in there quite firmly. It doesn't fall out very easily at all. You really do have to pull it out. Move on to the specs now. I've done these measurements myself, so the folded length is around about 190 millimeters, so it is quite pocket friendly, at least when it's fully collapsed up, and obviously that's part of the design that they wanted to do. When you do fold out the head or the clamp for the phone, that actually holds in position quite firmly. It's probably got some rubber washers on the side, and it also rotates around in quarter turns. It clicks into place. There's your rubber pads top and bottom so that you're not going to damage your phone. The bottom of the handle has the plastic feet or legs on this, and this is actually textured, gives a bit of grip. I would prefer if they went with aluminium. Maybe they've done that to keep the weight and cost down. Here you can see the rubber feet on the bottom, so it acts as the handle, and it's also the tripod when you open it out. It's quite a neat little design. I have to see how it holds up in terms of usage with the plastic. It does seem to be the sort of flexible plastic as opposed to the more brittle stuff that you get. But I do quite like the fact that that head holds in position quite firmly, so you can angle the phone around and it will stay in position quite nicely. I put the dimensions on the screen for you when it's extended and at its shortest length. So it's not the longest selfie stick out there, it has to be said. I've definitely used longer ones. They did do quite a nice job with the aluminium on the telescopic column, and there's also got grooves in it so that it doesn't turn around when you're actually twisting the head. And of course you can turn it into a tripod if you want to. One thing to remember with this is when you're collapsing it down, make sure that you put the head clamp behind the front, otherwise it won't fully seat back. The jaw length is around about 88 millimeters, fully extended, and it is quite strong. The springs on that, perhaps a little bit too strong. When you're pairing the remote up, all you need to do is just hit the button. You'll see the blue light flashing, and then just pair it up with the phone. You'll probably get around about 7 to 8 meters clear line of sight range off of this remote, but it will vary depending on the phone. Now I'll come on to the one point that I do have about this, and I would have changed, is that the top of the phone clamp, you can see that I can't position it between the volume and the power button. That means to say that it has to go off to one side, and that's probably because it's a little bit too big, and on other phones it's found the same thing. It's just slightly too big and it will hit both buttons. On a lot of the phones that I did try, that was definitely an issue though, and that's perhaps something they could change in a future revision. Here's the sizes for the tripod. As you can see, it's around about 480 millimeters in length. I'd be a bit cautious about extending that fully because wind could hit it and knock it over relatively easy, so I'd keep the length down on the tripod if possible. So really my only complaints with the Xiaomi stick, it's quite a neat little design overall, is the head clamp there for the phone. I think if they made one of the sections at the top about the thickness of the central part there, the plastic part, that would have pretty much been ideal and would have helped you get a better fit with the phone without hitting the power button. If you've got any thoughts or questions on this, do leave a comment below, and thanks for watching the video.